All right, let's try this again. Hello, everyone. This is Dexter and Jeanette Howard, and we are here live on Facebook Live for another Monday night session. So we are waiting some people to join us. All right.
Yeah, we had to log out because we were turned the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I think we are good now. Thank you all for tuning in. We say Anyesa. We see Anyesa.
Anyesa, there's Anyesa Johnson. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Anyesa, if you could go ahead and share and invite others to join us.
And
we'll give it just a moment here.
Yeah. Someone else is joining. Who's that? Blanche Lane. Hello, Blanche.
Hello, Blanche. If you could go ahead and join. Not join, I'm sorry. Share.
Yeah, share and invite.
And invite others to join this conversation where tonight we're going to be talking about, really this topic was a real question that someone asked us. Yesterday, a young man of faith, and we were just spending some time with this young family, which we love to do. And he asked a question in the backseat of our car, which I thought was a great question.
Yeah.
And we're a bit qualified to answer this question because we've been living this way for 23 years.
Oh, yeah.
And his question was, how do you step out on faith with something you believe God has told you to do or asked you to do, or a vision God has given you, and your wife can't see it?
Yeah.
You're all excited about it. You believe God has called you to do this or shown you a vision for this thing, and you want to move out, but she doesn't see it, or he doesn't see it.
Or he doesn't see it, right?
It really could be
vice versa.
Both ways, So how do you do that?
Right.
And I thought that was a great question.
Yeah.
And so tonight we're going to be sharing about that. And I hope you'll stay engaged the whole time. I hope you'll, engage with us, make comments in the comments section. Those comments are really helpful because a lot of people come back after this live broadcast and they tune in to these conversations. And so if you can make your comments,
interact with us, show us your thumbs up, hearts.
Yeah, that really, really helps.
Yeah.
So
and listen, again, share and invite. Share and invite. Most important thing you can do while you're on with us tonight, go ahead and share with all of your friends and go ahead and start inviting people.
Right.
And I promise you they'll see your notification and they'll start joining in. Okay,
so we're talking about when God says go, but your spouse says no. But your spouse says no, and you really, if that happens, you really are at an impasse.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's nothing to take lightly, because the truth is, you won't be successful.
No.
Without the support of your spouse. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. How can two walk together unless they be agreed?
Right.
Unless they have decided upon the destination or the direction that they're going to go.
Yeah.
And so, if we're going to walk together, we got to be going in the same direction and agreed upon direction. So, yeah, absolutely. Right. You got to be agreed upon the direction that you're going to go.
Right. And I personally believe that God is a family man. Yeah. I believe that he is serious about the family and the family being together, and because family is everything.
Yeah.
It's love.
Yes, it is.
And I just don't believe God's going to give you a vision. It's going to tear your family up.
No.
I really believe that.
No way.
I really believe he's not going to give you a vision, a mission, or calling or something, and it tears your family apart.
There are some outliers, though, that are involved in these types of situations that is not necessarily that the vision is not coming from God. It can be other outliers that are based on past circumstances and experiences.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of that.
The vision can very much so be from God.
Right.
But there have been some bad experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So we want to start out. We do kind of have an outline for tonight, just to create some flow in this conversation. And so we want to share from our 23 years of experience.
I think that gives us a little street.
Yeah, in a faith
street
walk.
Cred, yeah.
And it has been an absolute faith walk. We have been in full-time ministry for almost 20 years now. And we stepped out on faith almost 20 years ago with a God said.
Yeah.
We stepped out on that, and we have been almost every move we've made has been based on a vision from God.
Yeah.
Even this whole Save the Family movement that we've started, our show, A House United, the live events, A House United.
Based on a dream that I had.
Every bit of that was a vision from God, a mission from God. Both of our church, Restoration Family of Churches, that started out with a word from God. And yes, I had to get on board with that.
Yeah.
And we've done it overall successfully,
Right.
but have we had some misses?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
believe we've had some misses. It's all a part of the process. We're going to talk about that. So we sat here and talked and really thought we would share the foundation of our faith walk together.
Yeah.
What has made our faith walk together successful. And it's been really based on 5 things that we're calling, the foundation. Has created a strong foundation for our faith walk together. And so you can see if these things are in your foundation. If they're not in your foundation, get these in your. This is really important.
Yeah.
That these things are foundation.
When you get the foundation right, you can build anything on it.
Ooh, that's good.
So, but you got to make sure that you have the proper foundation in place.
That's
now,
so good.
Our decision making going forward is so much easier than it was 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Because we laid the right foundation. We had the right strategy going forward.
Right. We didn't know that's what we had.
Right.
Hindsight is 20/20. We were just kind of doing it.
Yeah.
But really, we really these 5 things I think are foundational. And you can take some notes. Take some notes down there. And help other people as they come and watch this live broadcast or watch it later. Number 1, for us, I think it was a key to our success. Number 1, when we married, we were equally yoked.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Meaning that we both were believers. We both had like precious faith.
That was established up front.
In Christ. That's what drew us to each other. And so we were equally yoked, but not just we were equally yoked as far as in the faith and believers, but we were equally yoked in terms of we felt both of us had a calling, even individually. Would you say?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
but we have never allowed our individual callings to, I guess, overshadow the family calling.
our calling together, yeah.
Our calling together.
Right.
Because that, and even as being a pastor, having married many people and sat in premarital counseling, one of the primary things that I cover with them, if they don't get anything else throughout our premarital sessions, it's that you must decide now on your purpose together. What is God's purpose for bringing this union together?
Yeah.
And so we'll have a little premarital counseling right now, and you may already be married. But if you don't know what your purpose is, you need to go back and you need to determine what is not what's my purpose. Individual purpose is critical,
right,
and it's important. But what is our purpose
together? Why did God put us together?
Why did God put us together?
Yeah, marriage is for a purpose. It is holy matrimony, which means it is a holy means something is set aside.
Yeah.
Sanctified for some reason.
For a specific reason.
So it's, marriage, God put you with your spouse for a reason. There's something he wanted to accomplish through you.
That's right.
Both.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah, that's right.
So number one, we were equally yoked in that we both were believers. We were equally yoked in that we both had a strong sense of calling.
Yeah.
Even individually. Mm-hmm. And so that was, I think it's been foundational for us. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is we went into our marriage as a partnership.
Equal partnership.
As equal partnership.
Yeah.
And I think, now I can speak as a wife. I married my husband as a young man. Mm-hmm. He was young, 23. I was young, 24. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to be transparent. He used to try to throw his weight around in the relationship when we were younger. And I didn't always necessarily feel like an equal partner, I'll be honest. But as we grew, and I'm saying this to some young people, some young women right now, and you might have a young husband who is not mature as he's going to be. Mm-hmm. And you may feel like he throws his weight around a little bit. Would you say he's finding himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's
How does you
finding
handle
himself.
A young man?
He's maturing.
He's maturing.
Which we all do. We have this saying that we are finishing raising each other.
Yeah.
and that's kind of what you do when you get married so young. You actually enter into a process of helping each other mature.
Yeah. Right. So there's a maturation that happens, but it is a sense for us. The success has come from a sense of equal partnership.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both of us have an equal voice in what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the third is we have had a strong overall family vision.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so that has helped us make moves of faith together because we we have a family vision. And so when there's a God said, or I believe God is saying this, or God's giving me a vision for this, that, or the other, if it's under the umbrella of the family vision, it's more palatable. What you say?
and I just thought about something so funny. You can't have a God said unless you have a relationship with God. Ooh. So, you can't start throwing around these God saids.
And, the other spouse is questioning, do you even have a relationship
with
God?
Do you even know God?
Do you even know God?
So, if
it's going to be hard to do that if you drunk, or something like that.
So if you're gonna throw around God said, and I don't mean that facetiously, but if you're going to say God said something to you, you at least need to have a relationship with God. You may not pray every day, but you need to at least, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, communicate with God,
right?
To be able to say God said.
And your spouse needs to be confident in that.
And your spouse
needs
to be confident in that. Yeah.
In your relationship with God and your ability to hear God.
Absolutely.
And then so the fourth
overall
thing, overall family vision has helped us because we have had an overall family vision.
And so we talked about, why is that important?
Because
why is overall family vision important?
The overall family vision gives your family direction.
Yeah.
And so it's easier when you say God said something if it's in line with the family vision. Mm-hmm. For instance, I married a mission. I always say, if any of y'all follow our ministry, you've heard me say over the years, I knew 23 years ago, I didn't just marry a man, I married a mission. Mm-hmm. He was very clear when we were dating, very clear in his calling. He was very clear about the vision he had for his life. He was very clear that he was going to do something that was going to change the world. Mm-hmm. He was very clear that he was a man of faith. He was very clear that one day he felt like he was going to lead churches and lead people and bring people to Jesus all over the world. I mean, he was real clear about that. So I give him that. Yeah. He was real clear. So I knew what I was getting myself into when I married him. I know it would be as challenging as it has been over the years. And so that overall family vision has helped.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Give direction. So when he comes and he says he's got a God said, or I feel God, if it has been in line with the family vision that I knew I married into,
we filter that through that.
Yeah, it's easier, right?
Absolutely.
So an overall family vision for us has made our walk of faith easier,
right? And
me, following him easier. The fourth thing that has made it easier for us has been foundational. Consistency. Not being all over the map spiritually. Just God said this one day and then he said the next thing the next day, and you're just constantly changing up and vacillating all over the map.
That can be confusing.
That can be confusing. So just the consistency.
It can kind of make your spouse a little iffy, if you will.
Yeah, if you're not consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the fifth thing that has made the faith walk easier for us, and it's just been foundational, I think, if we look at what's made us be successful at this, it has been a sense of mutual support.
Mutual support.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I get to have God said too. I get to have a vision. Yeah. I get to have an idea. I get to have something that I want to step out in faith and do.
Yeah.
And he gets behind that.
Yeah.
And so that is helpful. Our children get to have a vision. Our children get to have an idea. Our children get to have something they want to step out and do. And we get behind that.
Yeah.
And so those 5 things foundational things, I think, have made us be successful at this in our faith walk together has been, number 1, being equally yoked. Number 2, a sense of equal partnership. Number 3, an overall family vision. Number 4, consistency. That's really strong, especially brothers. Well, both ways. I don't want to say just for women, but both ways of consistency.
Absolutely.
And then number 5, mutual support. some tips we wanted to share with you all that might help you as spouses walk together, make leaps of faith together.
The thing that leaps foremost in my mind is give each other room for misses.
Yes, Lord.
Give each other space. Family is the place, I believe, that God gave us as individuals, components of the family, to be able to grow and mature and develop. And that means growth, maturity, and develop means that we have room to make mistakes.
Yes, exactly. You got to give each other room for just misses, to make mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know that anybody is.
Because that represents growth.
Yeah.
Making mistakes represents growth.
Nobody's 100% at this thing. I'm telling you this. This is what I know after 20 years in ministry and working as I work with people, even professionally, and coaching, all this kind of stuff. Let me tell you something. Nobody is doing this thing 100%.
Yeah.
Not one person.
So determined to grow together.
Grow together. There's going to be some misses.
Let's grow together.
Right.
Let's make mistakes together. Share just very briefly about. I don't know if that's for later on, but I know, probably the most major decision that we've made to date in our 23 years of marriage was to transition from Northwest Arkansas to Charlotte, North Carolina. And moving this big family of 8, this big machine here, 800, 900 miles across the country.
And then with a church campus in Arkansas.
Yeah.
To still continue to support. And then establish another one. And then 2 girls, one child was about to go to college. And then 76-year-old mother.
One was entering into her senior year.
It was
high
just
school.
It was beyond. I don't know that we can ever do justice to that.
2 things, babe, pushed me over the top because I was kind of I was waffling.
Yeah.
I was waffling, and I was really kind of stuck. I was really paralyzed, and just could not proceed forth. But what really was the catalyst that pushed me over the top and gave me the courage to move forward with what I knew in my heart. I knew in my heart God was saying go, but I didn't feel like I had the courage to do it. Yeah. And so the catalyst, the 2 things that acted as catalysts to push me over the top to obey God was this. Number 1, I remember standing in the kitchen. We first shared it with our oldest girls. There in Arkansas. We were standing in the kitchen, and Bethany, our second oldest, looked at me with that beautiful Bethany smile, and she said, "Do it, Dad." She says, "I'm gonna be okay." She says, "Do it." I almost break up into tears right now because that was going into her senior year, and to hear that baby girl tell me that, she says, "Do it. I'm behind you." She says, "Do it. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be fine. Don't not do it because of me." That right there pushed me over the top. And then to hear you say, in the kitchen again, we had a lot of major moments in our kitchen.
Kitchens are powerful.
Kitchens are powerful. We need to teach on that one day.
Yeah.
But it was in the kitchen one morning. I just got back home from Walmart, and we were having this conversation about Charlotte. And you say, "Why don't you just do it?" She says, "I'm behind you."
No, I didn't say this, but what you don't know is what I was thinking. See, I watched my husband be stuck for 3 years with a God said. So he had a God said and to transition to Charlotte for this next chapter, next thing in our ministry. And he was stuck for 3 years. Nobody knew about it but me. And I watched him really go into depression. And I watched that state that he was in, and I knew that if he didn't come out of that state, we were going to dry up. Things were going to dry up anyway. So I had to get myself together. I didn't necessarily hear God say go to Charlotte, but I knew the weight of that God said on him, and I watched him be stuck, and I watched his mindset, and I watched him go into depression, and I watched him just in a real bad place for 3 years. So I had to, as a wife, muster up the courage to say, "God, I believe you really are saying this. This man, if he doesn't make this move, I don't know what's going to happen." And so I had to get my courage And so when he came to me at that breaking point that day, we tell this story all the time, January 1st, 2013, on New Year's Day, he came into the kitchen, and finally we just had this big come to Jesus about it. And I basically said to him, you know, it's time for you to, I said, Pierre, get off the pot. I don't know how things are going to turn out, but I'm with you. Let's go and see what this is all about.
Let's just go and see.
But in my mind, this is what I was thinking. I didn't say this to him, but in my mind, what I was thinking is, because I don't know if I can go through this another year. I don't know if I can see you stuck like this another year, because this is affecting me now. Your disobedience or whatever this is now it's affecting me. So that's why I put my weight behind him. So I knew we that thing was tested. And I knew we had to do something. Yeah. So,
but that acted as almost like a force in my back. Yeah. That was propelling me to move forward in spite of fear, in spite of
fear. We didn't have a flying idea how all this was going to come together.
Listen, when you determine in your heart to move together in the same direction together, arms locked, this is the most powerful way a husband and wife can go forward. Just like this. If we're wrong, we're going to be wrong together.
Just be wrong together.
It's so powerful. You can do anything.
Yeah.
I can't say this with enough passion. You can accomplish. She and I, when we have locked up like this, we have retired major debt. We have seen major illnesses in our children be overcome because we decided to lock up.
We have crossed the Red Sea.
We've crossed the Red Sea.
No doubt about it. We have crossed so many Red Seas, we can't even tell it all. But let's get back to some of these tips, absolutely. Okay? So we don't want to hold you all too long. Thank y'all for sharing. Thank you for your comments.
Absolutely.
So, number one, please know, don't expect, if you say, yes, okay, I'll move forward with you in this, understand it may look like even a flop at first. It may look like a failure at first. Give that spouse room to miss it. You're gonna grow together, okay?
Yeah.
So
don't hold past missings.
Don't hold that over their head. Don't hold that over their head. And we all learning and growing together. Yeah. This is an adventure. It's a journey together.
It's called trust.
It's trust.
But trust does have to be earned.
Yeah.
The next one is good here.
Sometimes, I'll tell you this, sometimes your spouse is not saying no to God. Sometimes they're saying no to the way you presented it to them.
They're saying no to you.
They're saying no to you, or they're also saying no to how you presented this to them. Sometimes they're saying, you know, if your God said it's just what we're going to do, and they feel like they don't have any space to
give feedback,
to have input. Most grown folks.
It's gonna be some pushback.
It's gonna be some pushback. Except we even leave it that way. We don't stand up in front of our church and say, "This is what God said we're gonna do, and we're gonna do it. We don't care what you say." No, we present a vision, and then we give people opportunity for feedback. We lead them through a whole process of getting on board with it.
Absolutely.
Because human beings need that space.
That's right.
We do the same thing with our children.
That's right.
So we don't force God says down each other's throat.
No.
We put God says on the table for a discussion, give people opportunity to process it, get an opportunity for feedback, make sure the other person is heard, their concerns are heard. So it's not they're saying no to God. Sometimes they're saying no to the way
we may even walk away from it for a while, and breathe and just table it.
Dad, help our spiritual father said, if it's God, it'll keep.
It'll keep. If it's God, it'll keep.
So if it's God, it will keep. Sometimes your spouse is not a heathen. You know, just saying no to God and being contentious and won't let you.
No, it's how you're presenting it.
It could be how you're presenting it. Okay, and there's a way to do that. I'm thankful to my husband. We both have learned how to do that. Now your God says you have learned to give every God said the test of time.
Oh, absolutely.
And he also passes his God says through me.
I think that's important.
To help me filter it. And I pass my God says through him. And he helps me filter it. Yeah. And because we know it's not going to be successful until we get an agreement on it and work that thing out between each other.
That's right.
And then the last thing, yes, sometimes your spouse is afraid. A walk of faith can be a fearful thing. And so sometimes you're at a point spiritually that they are not. Yeah. and they're afraid.
Yeah.
Your faith could be a little bit stronger in a certain area than theirs is, and they could be afraid, and you have to just give that some time and
pray together.
Pray together.
That's one way to overcome fear. Pray together.
Yeah, pray together. Yeah. So I know you guys have so many comments there. Can you read some of those?
Yeah.
And let's see. Here we go.
Yeah. Let's see here. Hello, Angela Lipsy.
Hey, Bethany Howard.
Bethany Howard, my daughter Bethany. She's on there. Hey, BJ.
She might not be on there now, but she too is.
I even talked about you tonight, BJ. Yeah, we have people. They're just making comments. This is great. Thank you, Stephen Ivan, my spiritual son, there in Fayetteville.
You guys have any questions? Are there any questions on there that we can answer for you?
Any questions at all that we might be able to answer? Any questions? Any questions? Feel free to ask away, you all. Ask some specific questions about us. No questions are off limits. Okay? Any questions at all? I'm looking at your feedback here. If you have any questions, Bridget said this was great. Thank you, Bridge. Anybody else want to ask a question just very quickly? We are looking at our comments and waiting to see how we might be of help to you. Hey, there's Janice Tucker Edwards.
Hello, Janice.
Hey, Janice.
All right, you all, we're going to close up just by telling you a couple of things that we have coming up. Oh, here we go. What has been your most challenging time in your marriage?
Challenging time in our marriage.
When I got sick.
When you got sick, yeah.
That probably was the most challenging time that I can think of. We walked through all kind of seasons in marriage, you know. But the time I think was most challenging.
When we had faith.
It's when we had our sixth child. And I got real sick. I felt I was going to die.
Sick unto death, yeah.
You know. Now looking back on it, you know, I don't know that I was going to die. But anyway, I was sick enough. I felt like I was going to die. Looked like I was going to die.
It was spiritual.
It was all kind of stuff. Yeah. But anyway, that was, and then we had all kind of other issues going on that were stressful beyond belief. And navigating that season to this point has been the most challenging in our family. And then, of course, the move to Charlotte just practically, strategically was a giant. It was a Red Sea. It was, I don't have no earthly idea.
Impassable.
It seemed impassable, but bit by bit, step by step, with a great team of counselors, we were able to navigate. Clarity of vision. We were able to navigate that transition. And we still are transitioning in many ways.
Oh, you know what? It's something that just came to my mind. Every God said without a plan of execution is no more than a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Every God said we were faithful enough to come together and to provide a plan of how we were going to get to this God said.
The best you can.
The best that you can.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we did when we transitioned from Arkansas to here.
Right.
It was with a plan.
Yeah, we did have a plan.
And we executed a major plan.
A major plan.
Yes. Angela Lipsy is asking, how can you continue to be patient when you know your spouse is not using their best potential?
How can you continue to be patient? Let me tell you, love is patience. Love is patient. And I probably, for both of us, patience is one of those things that's a fruit of the Spirit. And you get it through communion with God.
Oh, my.
And that's the best I can tell you right there. But also remember that the same patience that you feel like you're having to have with somebody else, guess what? They're having to have it with you. Couples, we're on these different developmental paths, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes, yes, developmentally, you may be a little bit ahead of your spouse in certain areas. But guess what? They may be a little bit ahead of you in certain areas.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're constantly having to be patient with each other.
Absolutely.
And then awakening to that, I think is key. And staying awake, staying woke to that.
Stay woke.
That you're not 100% in this thing either. And whatever patience you feel like you're having to have with your spouse, they're probably having to have some patience with you as well.
Yeah.
And so that thing goes.
Well, we got questions rolling in here.
Excellent. Great.
Angela is asking another question. How do you deal with both of you having individual passions?
Excellent question.
Excellent question, Angela.
That is an excellent question. As a matter of fact, as we speak, I am planning to develop a solution for that, to help families create a family vision, and then to also help them to pursue their individual passions within that family vision, because I think they're meant to merge.
Yes, absolutely.
I really do.
Absolutely.
I think they're meant
they
to
are.
merge.
Mm-hmm.
And so in your marriage, yes, God married you. And I believe there is this place where your dream and his dream should intersect. And I believe that intersection is the family vision. But then there's this other part where you're two individual people, you know, and you're different. And what floats your boat don't float his boat, you know. And I believe there needs to be space for those individuals to pursue that. But the family vision is what keeps the family together.
Yes,
in our house, the family vision trumps everything.
Everything.
So the family vision trumps the individual vision.
That's right.
If that makes any sense.
That's right.
But we still give that space for the individuals to have their own things that they want to pursue individually.
Like you had a vision to get your certification as an executive life coach,
right?
And I gave you that space.
Right, that's something
that was
I've
a
been
space
wanting
of
to do.
6 months.
Yeah.
That you had to pour yourself into that, literally.
Right.
And so and
there was a space of a year.
A year, and I supported her to the best of my ability. And so she began taking on clients, and I enjoyed watching my wife flourish and to fulfill her life's goal of becoming a certified coach. And then just recently, I had nothing to do with this decision. I didn't ask her to. I didn't even know she had pulled back.
Yeah, I stopped taking clients.
She stopped taking clients. Yeah. Why? Because of the family vision. Because she placed the family vision. She says, I need to be working more on the family vision right now. Not that Dexter's asked me to, but I feel the need to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
that the bread and butter of what makes this family work is our ministry, our 2 church campuses. I saw clearly they needed my full attention right now. And so the family vision needed my full attention.
But that took a lot of selflessness on your part.
And I didn't do it easily. I didn't do it quickly. It wasn't quickly. I had to really pray. I had to really go inward. I really had to realize I can't do it all. And right now the family vision needs my full attention. He didn't tell me to do it. I did it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of shelved some other things I was doing to give it my full attention.
Yeah.
And so that's just the way we do family. That's
and it's producing fruit as a result.
Absolutely,
Stephen Ivy asked, how did you all establish the family vision? We had an opportunity with a blended family, so there was already kind of a set path, and we're still learning to adjust.
Yeah, that is a great question, Stephen. We talk about family vision a lot, and I've had people to ask me that question. I don't know how many times. How do you set a family vision? And I am going to answer that in a very strategic way soon, via a book or something, okay? But in general, I would love for you to have just a heart-to-heart conversation with your wife. And you just ask her, what's your dream? What would you love to do? What would you love to see our family? What would you love to do? See us 5 years from now or whatever. And then let her give her answer. And then you give your answer to that. And I think you're going to be amazed at what you all are envisioning in common.
Yeah.
And that's going to give you a great idea of what your family vision is, of what God has put you guys together to do. You're probably going to have more in common about what you see in your future and what you want to do than what you think.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely.
And so that's a starting point.
And then lastly, Alicia Brown, she asks, what if your spouse is called to ministry but is very shy or has been sheltered in their early years?
I'd say just get involved. in the church. The local church is a wonderful place to grow.
It's a spiritual family.
It's a spiritual family. It's also a spiritual it's a laboratory.
It's a laboratory
for your gifts and callings to grow in a sheltered environment.
A safe environment.
A safe environment. Absolutely, where you get to make some mistakes. You get to try some things and see if it works. You know, you get to, you feel like you're called a music ministry or whatever, but you're just starting out. Don't go out trying to make a CD and go all over the world. Start in a local church, you know.
Starting a local church.
Starting a local church.
Start right where you are.
Yeah, so you can get out there and begin exercising your ministry in a safe place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna throw you away if you make some wrong notes.
And then here's a great question: once your children are all grown and out on their own, how will that change your family vision?
I don't believe if it's a good family vision.
I don't believe it should change. No.
As a matter of fact, the family
it shouldn't change.
It should not change the family vision. The family vision is what you believe God, and I believe it's deep within you. Put you and your spouse together to do, or it's there, you guys. I'm telling you, it's there.
It's there.
It is there. You just need to be asked the right questions.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm seeing more and more and more. I'm on track. God is talking to me right now with this book He's put in me to help people discover their family vision. Because so many people, that sounds good, but they don't have any idea how to get there.
No, and this is just a comment, and we will end with this, you all. I don't have a question. This is Kamisha Mass. She was a part of our ministry back in Arkansas. She says, I just wanted to say thank God for the two of you, and I love you all. Keep those positive comments coming.
We love y'all
They
too.
really help us. We love you all. You encourage us as we encourage you.
We keep coming back here because y'all keep coming. You stop coming, we'll stop coming.
Invite others.
Yeah, invite others.
Share.
Tell them quickly about a House United.
Yes, come on. Let's talk about this weekend in Arkansas.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Okay. In Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, which is home for us. Well, Charlotte's home too, but it's our other home. We are going to be having a House United live. It's a live event, built upon our digital series that's out there. Please, y'all, God said His stuff was good. I'm just going to say it.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Those 6 episodes are good.
Yeah.
And they will help you, and they will shift your perspective, and they will give you solutions and strategies on how to bring your family together and help your family work together through anything. We believe the family can stay together.
Absolutely.
Family can overcome anything, even the worst of the worst.
Absolutely.
We've seen families overcome.
Absolutely.
And so anyway, but we also have a live event. The first one is in Northwest Arkansas. It's for couples. It's
this Friday.
Weekend. It's Friday. We'll be
7 p.m. Mermaids
Seafood. And it's filling up, but we still have, I believe, a few spaces. So you can register at ahouseunited.tv. Make sure the house is A is in there. ahouseunited.tv. We'll also put it in the feed, the link in the feed. And click on events and you can sign up. In Charlotte, the very next weekend,
October 6th.
Friday night, October 6th, we'll be having the event in Charlotte. 7 p.m.
At McCormick and Smith. South Park.
How do you say that? South Park, okay? So we're going to have a great evening together. It's not church, y'all. We're going to have a good time.
No, we're going to have fun.
We're going to have fun, but we're also going to be learning.
So husbands that might be leary.
Nah, don't worry about it.
We're going to have
right.
fun.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm a husband.
Yes. Oh, we're going to be gentle. No, it's really more than anything, you're going to be inspired. And we're going to have a lot of fun. I work with a team and we've got so many things, fun things planned that night, but you're going to learn a lot as well. Non-threatening environment. Don't worry about it. It's going to be good. All right. You and your spouse are going to go home with a more perfect union.
Yeah, Stephen, you and Ashley come.
Yeah, y'all come.
Y'all be sure to come. And then Alisa, invite others to come with you. I see you and Sandra, you got your ticket. So great. Awesome.
And there is childcare. I think that's what Deanna said.
Hey, Deanna. Yeah. And there is childcare as well. Good. I don't know if we have childcare here in Charlotte.
No, sorry, no childcare here in Charlotte.
Yeah, but we do have childcare in Northwest Arkansas.
Okay, and then we'll have others next year we're planning on doing a tour of some sort. We don't know how all this
some regional
look,
events. Yeah.
Yes.
And we got a marriage conference coming up.
A marriage retreat.
A marriage retreat. I apologize, not a conference. A marriage retreat in April, I believe.
A marriage retreat in April, and that's going to be fab.
Yeah.
And
Charleston, South Carolina.
Charleston, South Carolina. You'll hear more about that. Okay. All right, you all.
Love you
God
all. Thank you for joining in.
Hey, you got some topics you want us to address? You see, we kind of no holds barred. And so if you've got some topics you really want to address on this Monday night, let us know. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you all.
God bless y'all. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.